See a few people here in the room with me. Brilliant Elevation said he likes the devil because the devil gave him Christianity. Alright, we got a couple people coming back. I don't know if this is a new video for me or whatever, but y'all need to click the like. Y'all need to hit the like button so that the rest of our people can know we in here. Whoever's here right now needs to hit the like button so the rest of our people can come in and we can have a good cipher. I know. Hey, listen, you feel like Charlie Brown. Listen, I just want to know who the broad is. Who keeps playing Peppermint Patty? Who keeps playing Peppermint Patty and taking the ball away? That's what I want to know. Oh, Peppermint Patty just stopped. Oh, that's Lucy? Yeah, she's still a bird either way, man. Lucy was a bird. SW said the seeds of fear made devilishment bloom, thus causing him to eat the wrong mental foods. While you say he likes the devil because he gave him 6 and not equality. I mean, you know, Peppermint Patty was a little bit before her time. I think Peppermint Patty was gender neutral or something. You know, we didn't use that kind of terminologies back then, but looking back. So we appear to be in the green. It appears that we're doing okay. Like we moving slow, but we moving. It looked like this program may not need as much bandwidth as the other program. SW said, if Pat is ambiguous, Patrick or Patricia, aka Patty. Hey, man. See, all of these answers do coincide with the degree. Sincere Shakim is out there wandering around somewhere in the other post. Oh, here she go right here. I was about to say I thought she was. Hey, how you commenting on both things? How you commenting? How's it coming? It's coming on my regular YouTube, but then I see it right here in this comment too. Sincere Shakim and found some Illuminati stuff. I don't know how she's doing that. Yeah, it says I'm live over here too. I see the comments. But at any rate, get back to the point. You know, those answers are, you know, they definitely speak to the points that's in the lessons. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, in particular, you know, that degree got 2 things in it, right? Or there's 2 degrees in there, you know what I'm saying? One which says, No, not nowadays. So on the one hand, right, and the other degree in there that you gotta keep in mind is, then what happened? You got D. Christian and Shaquem. You know, with everything that the 10% is doing, you know what I'm saying? They're using the ignorance of the people for their come up. So, you know, as time passes and people gain more knowledge, they can't use all the same tactics. You know, they can apply the same principles, but they got to adjust the strategy for the time and the place and the people that they're dealing with. Should we wait till we don't want to leave too many members, a couple more people in here. SW said they got to revise their blueprints every so often. Exactly, master them and use them as a slave. Yeah, see, all of this different stuff, like, see, you know, the internet is a new and improved TV. It's like we went through this before that, you know, and you know how they talk about all these, you know, interactive experiences and everything, right? People hitting me on Instagram. If any of y'all know any of the other people, I don't know if they realize I'm on YouTube right now. That's why y'all gotta hit the like. When y'all hit the like, whatever happens, it makes the alerts go out. You know what I'm saying? But see, when you deal with all these interactive experiences, right? Then the less of your own internal creative power you have to use. You see what I'm saying? Meaning, if you read a book, right? You read a story in a book. You gotta visualize what the people look like. You gotta hear in your own mind's eye what the person sounds like. Like if you read the book and it says the person angrily made this statement. Brilliant Elevation, I've been hearing about that. That is some kind of surveys that's coming after my videos, asking people to rate the videos. So I think, yeah, all of that stuff like that, they like, yo, he do got people that come and check it. So let's see how we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, get back to what I was saying, you know, when you read a book, you gotta imagine everything that you're reading about. You understand what I'm saying? He said he likes the devil because the devil gave him toilet paper. See how y'all do? To visualize everything that's going on in the story. If they tell you that something smelled a certain way, right? You gotta be able to, you know, picture that in your mind's eye. Now, from books, I'm just talking about media. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, we deal with here in the wilderness, right? From books, the next thing was the radio. So now, when you got the radio, right? Now you still got to picture what the people look like and, you know, different things, events that occur. You still got to see that in your mind's eye. But now you don't have to use your imagination to know what the people sound like no more. They're on the airwaves. You see what I'm saying? Now we move to TV. Now we done moved up. You got 5 physical senses. We started off with just you could read, right? But you're not seeing pictures, you seeing words, and you got to translate those words still in the pictures. Then you started using sound. Now you get the TV and you don't have to imagine no more. Everything is played out right there in front of you. So that's less creative power that comes from within you that you have to use to interface with this story. You see what I'm saying? So now they talking about all types of things where they want to put something on top of the TV, right? That if there's a smell in the show, right, that this device would make the smell in your house. I mean, that's all, First of all, what if it's a news story about San Francisco and public defecation? Do you really need the experience to be that interactive if that's what it is? I don't. But it's also just dealing with the creative power of the people. Or for instance, right, if you look at kids' games, right? When you was a kid, right? Well, when I was a kid, and you went to different neighborhoods or different blocks or whatever to play, right? Every block kind of had their own set of rules. You know what I'm saying? Like all the way from the time you go any, mini, miny, mo, on certain blocks, they set a little bit different. Like if you go to play basketball on some courts, right? The line is out. You go to some other courts and the gate is out. You know what I'm saying? Some courts, they playing, stump. They playing where, look, you got to score. On some blocks, you got to score by the time somebody score 11. On other blocks, you got to score by the time somebody score 13. You understand what I'm saying? This was each set of little kids putting their heads together, right? And using their creative power. Yeah, see? Yeah, right. When you playing dice, yeah, some blocks, yeah, if that hit the rock, yeah, that's, nah, son. Other blocks, nah, my G, that's CeeLo. Pay me. See, that's each group of people using their creative power, right, to live out things according to their knowledge and understanding. You see, now, kids play the game that's programmed by one company. I don't know what the game is now, but let's say Madden. When I play Madden, I play the same Madden you play. There's no real, you could do certain things, they let you dress up your character or whatever, but it's all within the bounds of whatever that first person who's designing, or that first group of people who's designing the game. You can only do what's within their imagination. If they didn't put the option, if they didn't program the option into the game, you won't have the option. So all of these things have slowly caused our creative power that comes from within us to atrophy. The Christians said that's a form of mind control and manipulation. Absolutely. The Christian always said earlier up here, now you got the internet, and that has allowed people to become experts in every field under the sun with no qualifications or material to reference what they may be talking about. Yeah. That's another aspect of it where people use the internet, right, as part of their brain power. Like, if anybody recalls life, right, before the cell phone, before cell phones got huge, right, people might know 35, 40 phone numbers just in their head. Like it's numbers that people had in the 70s. Like my great grandmother, I could tell you her phone number still right now. Certain phone numbers that I had, you know what I'm saying, back in the 70s, that was one of the rules of going outside. You had to know the phone number in case, if you got in trouble, you had to certain things. You got to know how to cross the street. You got to know the phone numbers. You understand what I'm saying? In order for your parents to feel comfortable. Because, in the 70s, when we went outside, even in the 80s, when we went outside, you was outside. Like, it ain't like now where, you call somebody and then they got call waiting and all that. Nah. Like, if you was calling the house and my mom's was on the phone with whoever's her people, you ain't getting through. Period. And then when you come out of the house, right, because you couldn't get through, you come out of the house, you like, yo, is he home? Nah, he ain't here. You know where he went? Nope. You know he'll be back? Nope. You want to leave a message? That's all you could do. So, you had to show that you was capable of taking care of yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? But that was a long story just to say that we used to recall all these telephone numbers in our head. Yo, son, right now, I could barely recall my telephone number. Like, sometimes when somebody asks me for my number, I gotta look in my phone. That's because the people are storing information that they used to store in their head, right, on the phone. And things that you used to learn, that you used to take the time to learn, right? Now, you just leave that information on Google. Now, it might be working out if,
it's 8 o'clock.
You is using the spare brain power for something else. Like if you was like, all right, since we don't have to recall telephone numbers, now we got that brain power freed up, we can levitate or something. Don't nobody take that like I'm telling you can levitate. I'm making an example. You see what I'm saying? So the creative power and the supreme intelligence of the original man, like Halftime is saying right here, has been dumbed down. The Christian said, Skelly, freeze tag, jumping, riding trains, fixing bikes, slap boxing. Or we had a full life out there. Tell them, man. We had a full life. And look, remember when you went outside, you was ready for whatever. And when you went outside, you had your Skelly top in your pocket already. If a game break out, you ready. You might even got an extra top. You might got an extra top with your homie. Now, Sincere Shakima, you gonna be talking about my internet. I done told you, man, y'all need to stop lying out there in California about what the real epicenter. Listen, the problem is people not washing their hands. And y'all have people publicly defecating. Look, before this happened, public defecation is going to be a problem now because the homeless people can't get in none of the restaurants. They can't go in none of the places. So, that's just going to be another byproduct, and who knows? It may be a while before they start letting them back in there. So that's going to be something we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? 793rd, yeah, said back in the days, you had to catch people when they were home. I try to make a habit of remembering them numbers as it was nice. It was as he was nice with it up until 10 or 15 years back. You know something? I do that sometimes too. I don't save everybody's number. Like if I know I don't hear from you that often, then I'll save your number. But if it's a number, if it's somebody that I deal with constantly, I try to at least be to where I recognize your number if I see it. Like you said, I gotta fight back. I can't just let them dumb me down like that. But see, I got a lot of other stuff on cap, so I don't, That's something I learned from, Firstborn Prince too. Have some things on cap. You know what I'm saying? Some lessons or some, not just 120 lessons. Have some things on cap. SW said he come outside ready for war for the block fights. Yeah, you had to, you know what I'm saying? Halftime said that you knew how to get to grandma's house when it was like I just went away and came back. But it looks like I came back stronger. Looks like I can't take that sincere shot came up. But who we got in here from Medina right now? I'm missing some comments here. SW said maybe this is what the toilet paper shortage is for, or you think that the homeless people decided? Oh, I didn't even get down there yet. That's what it is. These comments, for whatever reason, they over there. They ain't come on my computer yet. That's how y'all did it. And I live in the next neighborhood, but he can tell you the name of the next game on PS4. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is that, the question I was asking if anybody was in here from Medina, because I was having a conversation with a brother and we was talking about how it was a certain building that had a clock on top. You know what I'm saying? And in downtown Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And no matter where you was, if you saw that clock, you knew your way back. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like you might be talking to somebody and they trying to find where you at. So you would say to them, yo, do you see the clock? I walk towards the clock. And that was like a landmark for, everybody. If you could get back to where you know by seeing certain landmarks. So yeah, that was our GPS. In the 70s and 80s. SW said, baby, that's what the toilet paper is for. But I'm saying though, if these people are defecating in the streets, they're not washing their hands. 793rd said he still don't trust GPS with random updates in their routes. Didn't that pork and bean spot have a crapping problem? What? And the veg problem? Rice and bean spot. Oh yeah, you talking about Chipotle? Yeah, Chipotle. They was having some type of E. coli or something in the food. You know what I heard? Stuff like that comes from sometimes. And Sincere Shakima, she's from out there. Maybe she know what I'm talking about. Know about what I'm talking about. But you know what I heard? That sometimes they piss off the Mexicans. And when the Mexicans get tight, they urinate and defecate on the food. On the, because they grow in the crops. So when they piss them off sometimes. And they piss all over the food, man. I don't know. I didn't see them doing it myself. Blaine and Snotty in the building. All right, now everybody, I know that in the past, I didn't really focus on that. But look, I need those likes up. I don't even know I don't even have a way to see it right now, how many likes I got, but I need them up. Because that's what's making the people get their alerts. I saw it when I looked at the statistics for the different videos. The videos with likes, those are the videos where more people come through and everybody sees. So that's your way of each one teach one. Hit that like button so that other people can come and get some of this knowledge and wisdom too. Unless y'all want to be Masonic and y'all want to be the only people that know and understand the things I'm saying, so y'all could go out there and take advantage of the people who wasn't here. But I don't have the 10% on mine. The 10% don't come in my room. It be the 5% over here. True Self. 793rd said, what happens when you lose your money, no wallet, and phone's dead? Had to sweet talk the bus driver and hop the turn gate one day when that happened going to Medina. Yeah. But what I used to do, and because my pops used to actually drive the bus at one point. He used to drive the bus. And, he was the one that told me, he said, look, if anything ever happened, right, go to the bus driver and say, look, a lot of times, I would just talk to them and they let me. D. Christian said the public defecators are using hand sanitizer instead of washing their hands. Yeah, somebody sent me, I don't know if y'all going to use it, but Brother Polite, shout out to Brother Polite, he has his own hand sanitizer recipe that he's recommending. Somebody sent me a video today of him making it. Adib Hill, Wise son-in-law. Peace. Where you from, Wise? Asiatic Mathematics said, I see the 10% as those he keep the knowledge in the cipher of those that keep the knowledge in the cipher of leeches. So we got enough. We got a lot of people. We gonna have. Oh, God is from Be More. So you out there with Righteous DeBar. We have Righteous DeBar. He always come in here with us. 793rd said, not rocking with it as Polite has enough streams of income. Props to him and his tribe. Hey, man. D. Christian said, they said the hand sanitizer was causing decrease in immune system a few years back, but now it's considered the go-to solution. Confusion amongst the righteous is what they teach. See, I'm going to tell you something about that hand sanitizer. You know, is that really with anything that you got that just kills bacteria, you know, bacteria is one of the things where we, you know, some of them is on our side. Some of them is on our side. And when you just kill bacteria, you kill the good ones that work with you, just like you kill the bad ones. You see what I'm saying? And we was building on this before. When you use the hand sanitizer, right? If it's not 100% effective, then it doesn't kill the bacteria. And we all know that when you go through a challenge and it don't kill you, it does what? Makes you stronger. So these actually things, Daniel Addison, what's going on? So these actual antibiotics and things of that nature, right, is a large reason why these virus and bacteria is mutating. See, we speaking on the hand sanitizer now, but you know, usually when I speak on it, it's coming from the aspect of the food. Is that the way they grow a lot of our food is unsanitary. And so to stop, all right, got Shakim in the building. You know what I'm saying? Call him Islamly. You know what I'm saying? But see, when the way they grow a lot of our food, you know what I'm saying? The meat, specifically I'm speaking on, the meat, the way they grow it is unsanitary, so they have to use antibiotics. It looks like Boston. It looks like the Baltimore crew. The Baltimore crew is taking the early lead. Baltimore crew is taking the early lead right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure Jansport Posse and the rest of them are being here. So I see, as soon as I said it, we start getting some of the brothers in here. You know what I'm saying? Victorious. But getting back to what I was saying is that they put bacteria, or they give bacteria to the farm animals to stop them from catching diseases. So when we eat the food, there's a low level of those antibiotics still in the food. And all right, we got Pelon in the building. All right, see, so you know, it looks like the Pelon crew. It looks like we taking it right now. I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all. But at any rate, as the when we eat that low level of antibiotics, right, then it does the same thing. It challenges the bacteria, right? But it doesn't kill them off. It's not enough of a dosage to kill them off. Anybody that's ever been on antibiotics, right? You know, you gotta keep a certain level of it in your body. You know what I mean? You gotta keep taking the pills a certain amount of times a day, and that the load of the antibiotics gotta be over a certain level. Or you're just challenging the bacteria and not killing them, so then you make them stronger. You know what I'm saying? So 793rd probably could expand a lot more on this. You know, there's actually killer bacteria, there's killer germs at the hospital. Like there's some kind of staphylococcus in the hospital that is deadly because they're giving so many antibiotics out in the hospital, right? And if they don't kill the bacteria, They just make them stronger. But they got something called MRSA. That if you get that in the hospital, they can't save you. And getting back to the full circle of what y'all was saying is that, yeah, this same thing, yeah, that's it. The flesh-eating disease, the MRSA. You understand what I'm saying? Senator Saul said resistance to meds like penicillin causing nosocomial, what's that word? I'm familiar with that word. Nosocomial infections. E. coli, now I'm not all the way hip on what E. coli is and how it works. I am in the building. Yeah, we definitely listen. The P-Lawn is running away with this thing right now. P-Lawn is running away with this thing right now. I don't know if y'all can catch up. Yeah, but see, all of this stuff is also, this is what happens when you start dealing with the hand sanitizer. Because remember, the hand sanitizer is all different strength. And bacteria is all different strength. So see, like when you put it on, they say, well, it killed 99.9. All right, what about that other 0.0001? So that's, that's a whole science. But we got enough people now. No-so means disease. All right. E. coli is a product of human fecal matter and waste. Yeah, I knew that. But I didn't know, really what's going, or what is really like. Is it a bacteria, a virus? I don't. But I want to get back to the question now, right? Of why does he like the devil? And like I said, I want you to remember that. Listen, when the degree says no, not nowadays, right? Nosocomial infections that are due to microbes resistance to meds. Oh, all right, I didn't know that word. Learn something new every day. Nosocomial infections are infections that are due to microbes resistant to meds. Then you said, look how the Chinese prepare shrimp and feces. Did Chinese do that? Whoa. Divine James, peace. Divine James is new. Where you from, Divine James? Or drugs when the doc tries to slip her Mickeys. That's what you gotta do. But as I was saying, dealing with the question, right? It already tells you in the degree when it says no, not nowadays. All right, got Queens in the building, residing in Albany. All right, shout out to Queens, shout out to Albany. 793rd says sometimes the Philippines folks don't even clean the shrimp. Talking about it tastes better. Whoa. I mean, I haven't eaten shrimp in decades, but I do recall like cleaning shrimp was like some kind of ritual that we used to go through, man. And you had to take the legs or whatever that off was, and then you had to like peel it, and then you had to cut it along the back and take this black thing out, and then rinse it. Yeah, Shakim said he don't eat it, but Oh man, I am said they cook shrimp with the shell on, so no cleaning. Whoa. Manola Music and Films. Yeah, this is the regular class right now. $7.93 said Albany PJ's Grandmaster DJ Scratch and $500,000. Yeah, $500,000. That was the guy too. His name is Jamil. A lot of people ain't know that. Halftime said they feed feces to shrimp. Whoa, let's get on back to the other topic now. Let's get back to why she liked the devil. And I am said when I went to China, they had dog, frog, cat, rat, and pig in the market right in the window. Yeah, I never liked that about them even here. Like even if you go to Chinatown, they got some stuff hanging in the window that I never was able to figure out what it was, man. Whoa, snatch shrimp straight out the water and eat them. Man. And then you wonder where these strange ailments come from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You wonder where these strange ailments come from. All right, now look. The bar said because he doesn't know that he's God. Right? Now look. All of that is, that pertains to the degree, you know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, the 1 in 36 itself is taking place from 1555 all the way to 1934. Like when it tells you approximately 60 years ago, it means from 1934. But when it's telling you about John Harding Hawkins, it's telling you about 1555. So each stage and step of the way, right? What and how they made the babies blind, deaf, and dumb was different. See, like Sincere Shakima brought up earlier, you know what I'm saying, about from 1555 to 1619, right? When they took the brothers through the Caribbean, right, in order to strip them of elements of their culture. You understand what I'm saying? But right now, I'm saying in 2020, why does he like the devil? True wisdom be beautiful earth, feeling horizon. What's going on, True Wisdom? We seen you in here before. It's been a minute. Where you from, True Wisdom? She said, "Peace, God," because the devil put fear in him when he was a little boy. SW, you on the road. SW said because he gave him $1,200. You from Pennsylvania? That's peace. Daniel Addison said the so-called luxuries that he provides. And see, now I get into what right, because he gives them cell phones, internet, and video games. Because the devil continues to give them nothing, but the illusion of the nothing is so strong that now most people feel like they down. What's going on, Nat? Because the devil tricked them into believing that they, the colored man, was God. D. Christian said in Pornhub. What's going on, Divine Truth? SW says social engineering, we hold up in the house utilizing his materials we all track by now. I am said, but those things would not matter if he had knowledge of himself and his own culture. He likes the devil because he only gets nothing and thinks the devil. He likes the devil because he is magnetically attracted to him. He likes the devil because he only gets nothing and thinks the devil is God, is what the bar was saying. But see, what I'm saying is that, like, see what I am is saying, what I'm saying? Yeah, if they had the knowledge, but see, they don't want the knowledge because they've been given a comfortable enough position, right? They've been given a comfortable enough position within the system of their own oppression. Within the system of their own oppression, they've been given a comfortable enough position to want to support the oppression because they're more scared to lose their spot. See, when like right now, there's things that last month people was complaining about, and now you have it the way you want it. Like, I'll give you a good example. Last month, you would have had a whole bunch of people talking about, yo, the devil is educating our children the wrong way. We don't like the way they educating our children. But now, you got your seeds in the house with you. Now, you got, that's what you wanted. But how many of us is like, no, they gotta go back to school. Yeah, see, Devontae, yeah, this homeschooling is not easy. Being God is not easy. Having to take the responsibility for yourself. Not just for what goes right, but for what goes wrong. It's not easy. That's why people go be religious people, even though they have this knowledge, and if you build with them, they but they still go be religious, because then you could just say your Hail Marys, right? And get out of it. But see, that's what I'm saying. Even with this cloud, right? Even with this cloud right here, there's certain silver linings. That to me was a silver lining. But how many of us seen that? You understand what I'm saying? That we always talking about how we can destroy the devil's civilization in one day, but then as soon as we see a little bit of trouble on the horizon for him, we more hyped than him. See, he's turned all of us into house niggas now. I am saying giving someone else the responsibility is easier than carrying the weight of God. Yeah. Because see, like you're saying right there, I am, right? When you look at the equality degree, see, you don't just got to uphold the 6 sextillion tons. You got to till the land, right? You got to till the land as well, right? And you got to make sure that land borns understanding. Son of Solomon, peace. We seen Son of Solomon before, but it's been a minute. What's going on, Son of Solomon? Hit that like button for me, because my alerts don't go out. I've just discovered this. My alerts don't really go out if nobody clicks like. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, Daniel Addison said fertile. Yeah, you got to make sure that land is fertile. And then even once that understanding is born, you still got to live that culture to make sure, that understanding comes to full fruition. SW says social engineering. Now school will be 90% online, lessening teachers relying or more to be subject to their unemployment rules and regulations. Joseph said nothing don't exist, so the trick is to get you to forget what happiness is. Happiness is what comes after love and peace. Yeah. But how many people thought about that? You understand what I'm saying? That, listen, man, every time there's a little bit of trouble on the horizon for massa, only thing we worried about is how can we get back. Like, for instance, right? Here's the thing. I hear a lot of people saying, look, how long is it going to be, or when is things going to get back to normal? I am saying you are also responsible for the climate of that land and fertile soil to produce fruit. The Christians say you got to be able to take the best part from these circumstances. I see it as time to work on self and family. Yeah. But, when people say we want to get back to normal, have we thought about what normal is? Like, normal is my man that got choked out, Colin Ferguson, my man that got choked out on Staten Island. That's normal. That's what was normal. That was normal. Trayvon Martin, that's what was normal. The signs, you know what I'm saying? The people was complaining about their jobs. They wasn't making enough money. So have we really looked at that? Eric Garner, shout out to his family and everything. I didn't mean to mess his name up. What did I say? Colin Ferguson? Was that the dude that shot up the train? Did I just do that? Did I just call him the dude that shot up the Long Island Railroad? That's my bad. Yeah. Devon James said the ball is in our court, but watch it get passed back. Exactly. We pass it right back. We go and work harder. We go and work harder, right, to bring the conditions back. Then they working. You know what I'm saying? And historically, when I found out about this, I was like, wow, man, like that is something that blew my mind, man, that, it was certain black people after slavery that stayed on the farm because their opinion was that, master needs me now more than ever. Like, things is falling apart for them. I got to stay here and take care of master. I am says the same thing in the music industry. Yeah, I seen that. But it's just like I started saying in the beginning, the illusion is like in the movie Matrix. Remember where the dude was eating the steak? And he said, I know it's fake. Still tastes good anyway. So the illusion is so strong of this more comfortable position that you've been given in the system, right? In the system that oppresses you, the illusion of what you're getting is so strong that you don't see that in reality, that's not more than what you would have been earning on your own. See, that's the bottom line. Everybody wants to get back to the system and get the system working because they under the impression that they can get more money, right? when the white man is popping. Devon James said we're going to bail out the economy with our 1.2 trillion and spending as consumers. Yeah, but they put even more than 2 trillion. And look, everybody's so happy that money is coming, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's going to be a price to pay for that. And when you on the bottom of the totem pole in any society, it's coming off your back. Trust me. They're going to be giving out tickets galore when this is over. They got to make that money back. People going to be arrested. Like, listen, if you in a gang, you will be targeted because of all those people they just let out. All those people that they letting out, you know what I'm saying, for the compassionate release because they don't want you to catch coronavirus. They're going to have to make that up. The next time we go to renew our driver's license, it's going to be a little bit more, son. There's going to be a price to be paid for this. Brilliant Elevation said normal is pretending to be Neo from the Matrix. Son of Solomon said it's the failure of their new world order in one day. You understand what I'm saying? But, I mean, most people don't look at it as a failure of their new world order. Most people look at it as them instituting a higher level of it. And see, that's another thing that I was getting to when I said, why does he like the devil? You like the devil's chances in everything. Because, like somebody was saying, now you look at him as a god. So now you got the same Christian mindset that, look, everything that's good, that's me. And see, if I ask somebody right now to build on today's mathematics, I'm going to be like, yeah, man, God, sole controller, make it the owner, all this right here. But see, as soon as something go wrong, that's the devil. I mean, how much power does he really have? Like, if we saying he's limited to 6, right? Then how is he able to do everything? Or do I have a misunderstanding of what 6 is? Natural said that's an example of why he likes the devil. I am said in the film Harriet, when she went back to her to get her sister said, everybody ain't like you. Some of us don't want to run away. Yeah, you know, and that was another statement that blew my mind. That was a quote from Harriet Tubman. She said, I could have saved more people if only they knew that they were slaves. She said she could have freed more slaves if only they knew that they were slaves. And you know, from my perspective right now, we like, well, dude, you know, you get the whip, you working, you're not making money. You know what I'm saying? You know, it seems pretty obvious that they were slaves. But that just to go to show you that even in that time, a person could feel like they have a good position within their system of oppression that they don't want to leave. You understand what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. At that time, you got the other aspect, too. That when you leave off the farm, that could be deadly when you run into other white people. So now you have this fear of going out there where you like, you know what? It might be bad here, but this is the devil that I know. Either way, you still supporting your own system of oppression, right? Because you getting Jordans out the deal. You understand what I'm saying? So now, you know, even with that, you know, the black aspirational class, Like those people that Charlemagne wrote the book about where, you know, it's supposed to be some kind of rich black people or something. These are people that, you know, they've been given a good enough position within the society that, you know, in their minds, they think the best thing to do is to recruit the rest of us into that mindset. Not saying you don't want to make a living, you don't want to accumulate resources for yourself and your family. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, when you going into that system where you totally supporting the system that oppresses you, and then you saying, well, you know, why don't we do something for ourselves? No, how is that possible? Senator Solomon said, yeah, the comfort keeps us with our hands out. If we get back to the system, it's only for you to get yourself independent of the government. Yeah, you know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, look, here was a question that I had introduced to the room. There was a brother here that was from there, so you know he had answers and everything. But listen, the government has collapsed in Detroit. The government has collapsed in Detroit to the point where, you know, when I asked the brother, I said, yo, why don't the brothers out there, you know, all the people, why don't they get together, right? And say, look, you know, we're going to build up just one section of Detroit, meaning you got, you know, I'm living on a block with 5 abandoned houses, you live on a block with 3 abandoned. Why don't we build one section of the city, right? So that it's a solid community. You understand what I mean? And you can have businesses there. Once you got that solid community, they need things. They need supermarkets. They need gas for their cars, whatever. It needs to be businesses that's established by the people from that community. You know what I mean? Tell the gangs, look, y'all go have the wastelands, wherever y'all go back over there. This over here would be for y'all family, your little sisters, your moms, your little brothers. You understand what I mean? So this is off limits. Go over there and handle what you gotta handle. And of the reasons that the brother gave, you know what I'm saying, one of them was that most people don't want to do that. Like when I was saying earlier, you don't want knowledge of self. What they want to do is whoever got something, instead of saying, okay, let me invest it that way, they saying, nah, let me go live somewhere close by Whitey. Let me leave out of here and, you know, go across the tracks into a different type of suburbs where, you know, we have a nice position within the system of oppression. So now, like we were saying earlier, if things go to normal and a little kid gets shot down in the street, see those people on the other side of the tracks, they say things like, well, you know, that's not really my life. You know what I'm saying? Like where I live is a gated community, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got, you know, that's not really my issue. And that's a difference from the 60s. See, in the 60s, because it was segregation and all the original people was forced into the same condition, even if you had some money, you still could only be at the top of our neighborhood. See, everybody was in the same boat, so everybody could come together on that. Devon James said, no, God, they bailed out big business. Blacks gonna bail out the economy once they can spend again. Either way, we still gonna have to pay for that. Like that's what the bottom people in society, that's who they are. Those are the people that we all live off of their backs. That's why it's a constant, you know, there's a constant immigration class in America. See, like some of the first people that came with them was the French and the Germans. You know what I mean? In terms of, you gotta remember, on these ships, when they coming back in those pilgrim times, you know, European countries is not together. They battling against each other. So on this ship is British people who end up taking over the 13 colonies. So you had certain German people that was in the mix, because remember, the Anglos and the Saxons are German tribes that moved to England. You know what I'm saying? So you had German people and French people here, of course, because the French was already here. That's the reason why they had the French and Indian War, because the French was already here. So, but see, when after that they brought in the Irish, and then the French and the Germans could get the foot off their neck, because we got these other people over here. Then after them, you had the Jews. You know what I'm saying? After them, you had the Italians. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not sure in every other area of the country, but you gotta remember that in New York, a lot of this history is New York history, because all these people came into these ports over here. They came through Ellis Island and all of that. So now for every one of them groups that I said that they came here at one time, right? And the society thrived off of their backs. Eventually, they was allowed to thrive. And anybody from New York would tell you the area where they moved to when they made it. And see, the Italians, when they was in Little Italy, they was poor. But see, when you go over Howard Beach, Staten Island, those Italians that made it, they ain't living like that no more. That's just a memory. Where's the area in New York where the brothers moved to when they made it, when the foot came off of their neck and they was allowed to thrive? I've never seen one. Nationally, what I found is that most people will tell you that that area is Atlanta. I ain't buying that either. So at the end of the day, no matter what happens, and see, that's what I'm saying. You know, yeah, see, what you saying, black people going to spend and be in the economy and all that and buy their Jordans, yeah, that's the illusion. That's exactly my point. That you want to get back to getting your Jordans, so, you know, you're going to totally ignore the fact that now is a time when you can actually thrive on your own. But if you so caught up in the illusion, you see what I'm saying? Like, see what I am was talking about when you dealing with the music game. If you so caught up that you want them to say, look, here's this check for $1 million. Then you're gonna be willing to sell yourself out, you understand what I'm saying? And do a lot of things that's not true. To maintain the system that you complaining about is oppressing you musically. I am so that if you don't get shot, vaccine, you get detained, period. Yeah. Look, that's what I told my daughter, is that, look, I don't think she's going back to school. I told my daughter I don't think she's going back to school because, you know, first of all, the online school came off too smoothly. Like, in the history of New York City schools, I've never, look, when I was in there, I've been having kids in there for over 20 years. So I had like a short break. About 3 years when I wasn't dealing with New York City public schools. I've never seen anything come off as smoothly as those online classes have. I hear my daughter, I'm thinking, all right, boom, let me build with you, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you get, so I asked, how was school? She was like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, how was it? She's like, it was unremarkable. Like, yeah, still just do the same things, nothing. So then, like the brother said, to me, that's a no-brainer because, see, in New York, a lot of y'all may not know, we went through that last year. They made vaccinations mandatory for everybody. They took away all the exemptions, meaning the religious exemption, whatever other exemptions you had, because there was an outbreak in the Jewish community I can't remember what it was. And then they made vaccinations mandatory. I still ain't complied. To this day, I still ain't complied. Ain't bothered me, I don't bother them. But this right here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finesse this one. So if that's the case, listen, I apologize. I know you got your friends up there and everything you want to play with, but you ain't going back. Let me catch back up. Let me catch back up to the room. Joseph said, you know how people say you're going to find what you're looking for? La Illuminati, that nothing that the devil gives them. What's going on, La Illuminati? It's been a minute since we've seen this brother too. D. Christian says 7th degree in the 1 and 14. They think they are different, therefore lacking unity. Yeah. You just hit a good point. D. Christian, that almost was the topic today. When I was thinking about, man, what's going to be the topic? Because it flows a little better when I have a topic than when I just put, 4, 7, 20. It flows a little better when I have a topic. That was going to be the topic, D. Christian. Why do our own people call our own people Africans? And by that, I don't necessarily mean Africans. I mean, Bronx niggas, Brooklyn niggas, Bloods, Crips, all these different separations that we put between ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? Why? You know what I'm saying? This has kind of died down now. You know what I'm saying? But years ago, you would have these brothers from the South that would, they was basically espousing this mindset that brothers from the North is trying to destroy their way of life. And I'm like, yo, dude, that's some Civil War white people argument. Wow, are you crazy? Destroy your way of life? Rams, I'm from where it's the hellfires, man. I'm surviving myself. We talking about destroying your way of life? When we say we this and they that, what we mean is they're not our people and they are savages compared to us. So that almost was the question for today. But somehow you managed to finesse it in there. Daniel Addison said if we don't have the resources to do for self, then where people go. Yeah. But see, like I said, look, we already missed the boat on that one. On this one right here, we already were supposed to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Meaning we already were supposed to have schools built. So that, okay, even if we call it off too, when it comes back, we going according to our rules. You know, like I said, when we dealing with the verbal stuff, when we dealing with the conceptual stuff, then yeah, time is infinite. But when we get to living this stuff out through ways and actions, then ain't no backseats, man. Ain't no backseats, ain't no second chances, ain't no do-overs. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Because what? It told us in the knowledge born degree to what? Prepare yourself or not. And what happens when the answer is not? The bar said nothing as in it has no value to the original people, keeps us from self-reliance and not being dominant, positive, wise people. Joseph said there is no outplanning the law. Wise came in the building. What's going on, Wise? I am saying he taught us to eat the wrong food, so we think going back to normal means being a worker and a mental slave. That's exactly now. See, this is what I'm saying. See, maybe you won't start off. Maybe you won't start off making more money than you was. You know what I'm saying? Meaning if we came together as a community, right? And started owning our own businesses. No, you're not going to be getting Facebook money. You're not going to be getting Jeff Bezos money. Not out the box. But what's the difference in your potential? See, he may give you a little bit more, but see, the ceiling is right here. This is the ceiling right here. See, you may start out, but see, the sky's the limit now. But if you like what the devil is giving you and you're so comfortable with that position as a worker because you're making what you feel is good money, then all you're going to do is maintain the system. You see what I'm saying? And listen, this goes, because, a couple times people come in and ask, well, what's up with this 1914? What's up with this 1914 expired? What's up with this 6,000 years expired? Yeah, well, how's that going to happen when he's getting support from God of the universe in his system because God of the universe likes being oppressed so much? You can't take him out because you on his side. And what we keep saying, we can't be taken out. So how you going to take him out? See, like I said, man, in so many different ways, look, keep it 100. Since the 1980s, just since the 1980s, black people have killed more black people over stupidness than the Ku Klux Klan would have imagined in their best dream. In their best wet dream, they wouldn't put as much of us in the dirt as we do. See, all that's a part of being a mental slave. And like I said, the other question that I was going to ask of why do our own people call our people Africans? The Christians say you just put the 9th degree, so you just passed the 9th degree and the 1 to 14. Yeah, now you hey listen, now you learning with a 5%. You up there, you playing with the big boys now. You playing with the big boys now. So Son of Solomon is saying that maybe New Rochelle or Mount Vernon would be the place in New York that you would say the black people moved to that made a little something. And there is some truth to that. Is that, you know, the history, you know, the Bronx was all white. Like in the 50s. It was like 95% white. You know what I'm saying? Most black people that moved into New York with the Great Migrations either moved in the Bronx or Brooklyn. I mean Harlem or Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And the people from Brooklyn that made a little bit of loot, they moved into Queens. And some of them moved out to Long Island. The people from, you know, a couple people in Queens, they moved out to Long Island. The people that was in Harlem that got a little couple pennies together, they moved into the Bronx. And then from the Bronx, they did move up to New Rochelle and Mount Vernon. However, I don't think you would consider, you know, Howard Beach next to, you know, look, Yonkers still was projects. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, there is a little ounce of truth of what you're saying, but I just wouldn't consider those the brothers that made it. Manola Music and Film says he's in Atlanta. So this idea that, you know, Atlanta is the place where, you know, the black people have moved to that came up, that somehow beat the oppression, that's a myth. Cortland Powell, you gotta hit the like. Everybody in the room, y'all gotta hit the like. That's what makes them send the messages out to everybody. I just learned that today when I looked at my stats. I started noticing that it is a function of how many likes I get, how much the video goes out. Manola Music and Film said here, black people just get a little more, don't run anything. Yeah, you know, I think that goes back to the political scene out there. You know what I'm saying? Where on some level, Atlanta kind of took the money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about going way back with the dude Andrew Young. When he cut deals with corporate America to come to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? You know, with the idea that it was going to be all these jobs and everything. But it's something about that just strikes me as funny, because he used to be a lot with Martin Luther King. He was Martin Luther King's like secretary or something. You know what I mean? He was there when Martin Luther King got shot. And that was kind of something that Martin Luther King was against. Like, nah, we ain't taking the money, son. Gotta be righteous. We don't need their money. We can do what we gotta do. They gotta be righteous, man. They gotta get out of all of these wars and everything, because see, that's what's keeping them on our back. So he kind of took the money, and then Atlanta, I mean, I can't put my finger on it. Maybe if I existed there, but I just, something about that is not too right for me, man. Come on, man. Why y'all doing that stuff, man?
That's the fucking Fox News.
Why y'all doing that stuff, man?
Look at this one. Look at that one.
Yeah, I ain't gonna find that's fake.
Look. Look at this one too. This is that when they filmed the Elmhurst shit. This was on look.
Oh man. That's probably just the training.
Yeah, but why are they using that as like, see that dog?
Good question.
You know?
son of the soil said to set us up to dominate all our fears, using our righteous power for his benefit, attempting to take our position as God. D. Christian said it's like Chappelle reparation skit, $1,200 on a year's supply of Newport menthol. Yeah. You know, that's what I said. That listen, if you want to do something, take that money and invest it in a company or just sit on it. That's what's going to hurt them. Because, see, the reason, and this might be a little bit what the brother Divine James was talking about, right? They only giving you the $1,200 to launder the money. You laundering the money for them. See what I'm saying? Instead of them saying, look, I gave you this. Nah, I looked out for the people and the people spent their money on what they. Nah, son, you laundered the money. That's laundering money. I'm from the street. I know what laundering money is. You laundered that money. See, you got to know the history of welfare, right? See, the history of welfare. Welfare was started by FDR in the Great Depression. And the idea was, they was like, okay, we got a problem with this depression. We got a problem with the depression. And so, what's the problem? Well, the problem is that people don't have no jobs. Okay, well, why do people don't have no jobs? Well, the people don't have no jobs because companies is not hiring. Well, why companies ain't hiring? Because they ain't making no money because they don't have enough customers right now. Well, why they don't have enough customers? Because the people don't have no jobs, so they don't have no money. So in order to break the cycle, they say, okay, well, look, let's do this. Let's give the people some money. And then they could go buy stuff from the stores. Then the stores would be making money. And then they could hire the people. And then you understand what I mean? The cycle gets reset like that. When they give these people welfare money, that money ends up with Monsanto. That money ends up with Cargill and Nestle and all those big agribusinesses who ultimately grow the food. When you go to the supermarket and buy it, they got to pay their suppliers. Who's their suppliers? Monsanto. So all that money that they've given out in welfare in any period of time, what you're talking about, is ending up with corporations. But they got the people's minds twisted into not understanding what it's about. I am said the school children will be the first ones to get, have to deal with the vaccines. They the ones that's, people look at education as so important that they'll put up with almost anything. Oh. Alright, Halftime said he's signing off. Peace to the G.O.D. Let me catch back up here. This is a class. This is a class now, so I'm running my mouth, but this is a class. This ain't our usual, we just politics some nights. Kareem in the building. I see Jansport Posse. Jansport Posse is trying to make a comeback, but Bronx Massive right now, we got the crown. Bronx Massive got the crown right now. Kareem said, good topic, gotta get some popcorn, gotta pop some popcorn for this one. Smell Goods in the building. Smell Good said, wait a minute, peace, I ain't get the last few notifications, let me tap that bell again. Yeah, and also what it is, Smell Good, people gotta click the like. Like I was looking at the statistics today and I started seeing that, when the likes go over like 40, then you can see the views. And those is the ones where we get a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So that's on the level of each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? You gotta click that like button so somebody else can get a chance to come in here and build with us. You know what I'm saying? The boss said having the children in their control school system. The law magnetic, what's the deal? Wise you said divide and conquer. Now look, and this is just a little how would you say this is kind of a sidebar. You see, don't forget that you got conquer and you got divide and conquer, but there's also conquer and divide. There's also conquer and divide. See, like, for instance, you know, DeBar, he's from Africa. See, some of those lands, they conquered them and then divided the people. See, even with us right here in the wilderness, they brought us over here and then gave us reasons to have divisions. So that, like I said, was almost today's question, why do our own people call our people Africans? And Bloods, and Crips, and, you know, Latin Kings, and Disciples, and, you know, whatever different name, and then, you know, we use that as a reason to fight and kill one another. True Self, Reveal in the building. What's going on, Reveal? The Christian said, what's crazy is some of the most influential people we produce originated in the South. We keep repeating history instead of renewing it when we ignorant. Yeah, listen. More so than the South, there's something about the 1920s that I seen as a common denominator. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I guess for our time, you know what I'm saying? The people we look up to was born in the 20s. The Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, Allah, Mega Evers, you know what I'm saying? And even, you know, a lot of the people, you know, Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, these people was banging in the 20s. You know, so, you know, we got people that's from all over. I think Malcolm X wasn't born in the South, but I'm not sure where Malcolm X was born. But it's something about the 1920s that produced some people that heavily influenced our time. Scientific Allah. Let's stick to the eight. Let's stick to the 8 foundational lessons this time. Scientific. Natural said, because as the degree says, he wants us to think that we are all different. Just as it happened then, it happens now. Daniel Addison said we must change our circumstances. As W said, he a blood energy sucker, stop feeding him. Daniel Addison said he got them pins in his head. Every time somebody talks about somebody having pins in their head, it's funny to me. I don't know why. Natural said the first step, the original people have to expire the devil within self first. 793 said provides hope in God. I've been talking so long. I've been talking so long, I lost track of what that might mean. True wisdom be beautiful. Earth said, we need to unite. I mean, yeah, you know, which I'm supposing this is all coming from the part where I said, you know, why do our own people call our people Africans? You know what I'm saying? This is the barriers to unity. You know what I'm saying? Is that, you know, we don't see each other as the same, and that's historical. Meaning, in Africa, one of the reasons we doing over here is because the different tribes didn't see themselves as the same. They saw those people over there as Africans, man. Hey, nah, this is, I don't know what it is. I'm Yoruba. I'm, you know, Wolof or whatever different, you know what I'm saying? I'm not too familiar with all the different tribal names. But because of that, you had no problems cutting deals, right? To get your brothers in. Into 21 ciphers of death, hell, and destruction. Phantasm. What's the deal? Why I said my pops used to tell me stories how the Irish dudes used to chase them on Fordham Road in the 70s. Yeah. Saying the white people had just left, especially in the North Bronx. A white flight probably took place later in the P than everywhere else. The boss said because they think that they are different from their own. Last line of the 7th degree to 1 and 14, like that type of message to us completes the devil's trick. Shades Michaels. What's going on, man? We ain't see Shades Michaels in the midst. That's what I'm saying. When y'all click the likes, we get the old timers up in here, man. Look, we talking about the old timers that we would do. Look, we just were saying this only been going on since December. We talk about the old timers. But look, there's certain people that was here with me when I had 50 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Kareem said that date 1914 is the scheduled date also as per Mormons, but it was always said through the teachings that the devil was given a grace period, and that period depends on our awakening and unity. Yeah, but see, actually 1914, it wasn't just the Mormons. There was lots of people predicting that 1914 was going to be the end of the devil's civilization. Adibasi. What? We only got 7 likes. Man, y'all better get those likes up, man. If I have to cut y'all off. We got 47 people in the background. 40 of y'all is listening and don't even like. Oh, I got 33 likes, my bad. I was about to say 7 likes. I'm gonna have to do like my man. I see what they do on the other show. He's like, hold up. I ain't saying nothing else till I get some likes. I ain't saying nothing else till I get some likes. But serious though, give the other people a chance. Give the other people a chance to know what we know. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta remember, you know, all of us being one mind, yes, I mean through the teaching, is one of the first steps and stages towards us having unity. You see what I mean? That's why we could be from all over the country. We could be different ages. We could be, you know, we could come from all different backgrounds, right? And, you know, we unify at least to this degree. You see what I'm saying? So help me get those teachers out there. boss said, "That's true, he Kareem, as the grace period is the chance for the original people to gain the knowledge of themselves." Wait, hold on. What's this Phantasm just said? Lord Shallah in the building. What's going on? I told y'all, man, when we get the likes out, man, we get everybody, man. We get everybody in here, man. We got the thing, we got the infinite mind. We get all our people in here. Phantasm say they taking back next tax season, God. Small business crumbling. That's what they saying? That oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they are saying that you know, a lot of these things you're supposed to be getting a break on certain things, but the break is going to be over in 2022 or 2023. But I'm pretty sure the people, you know what I'm saying, like the regular citizens, you know, especially those of us that don't have the power to retaliate in any way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand what I'm saying right here, right? Is that it's the rich people, right? We say they the 10%. I'm talking about actual numbers, right? The 10%, the 1%, the 0.1%, right? It's only a handful of them. But because of their wealth, right, they can strike back at a politician that tries to, you know, pass some type of bill that's not in their favor. They can strike back. They can say, look, I'm going to give $100 million to your, you know, whoever's running against you in the next election. They can say, you know, I'm going to give $50 million to this group, Black Lives Matter, to just go and yell at all your speeches and disrupt your stuff. But see, once you're dealing with populations of people that cannot strike back, in America that translate to the original people, right? Then you gonna feel it. You gonna be the ones that pay. You understand what I'm saying? And that's on a global scale. That's just the way politics is. Like when you look around the world and you see whatever people is being oppressed, just open, like see the Palestinians, there's no oil in Palestine. There was nothing that they could do. They can't strike back. See, the Egyptians and all those Saudi Arabians, they got to respect them a little bit. Because see, we'll strike back and pop the price of oil through the roof for you. Then what you going to do? You can't run this army. You can't run this army without the oil from us. How you gonna move them tanks and them planes if we don't cooperate? But if you in a group of people that cannot strike back, you will pay the bill. D. Christian said, like Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from a mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Scientific says there's a difference between 19 and 14, and the science of the devil's civilization expiring in the year 1914, and is the lessons had a mathematical code of 19 and 14 that need be applied. Yo, Scientific, man, you got to get a channel, man. You got to get a channel because, look, I'm interested in hearing what this stuff is about, but I you know, like I told you before, I don't, I mean, clearly, I know of the mathematical code from knowledge to born, but what is the mathematical code from knowledge to culture? You know, you need a channel, man, so I can, I want to get on and do the knowledge. 793rd says, so how many landlords are letting that rent go? Like that one Italian cat in Medina, they're gonna want more of that dirty money, yeah. And that's a big thing. Somebody put in the room earlier that there's certain corporations, like the Cheesecake Factory, somebody put in the room earlier, said that, on a national level, they can't pay their rent right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole thing right there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got these national movements where it seems like, you got certain people that's setting up to never pay rent again. You know what I'm saying? Like you got rent strikes, I've been seeing on the news, you got rent strikes being organized all across the world. So that's going to be a thing. And a lot depends on real estate. Let's not forget how the last crash happened. Kareem said, our awakening is not an exact scheduled date. I don't bear witness to that spooky teaching. One day is 1,000 years in the eyes of God. I see that as a reference for the struggle, but if all our eyes make up God, don't have to take 1,000 years. So you saying that 1914 is allegorical? Or, there's some other meaning that's meant to convey to us that we may not be seeing yet? Scientific said, just as the 19th letter in the knowledge degree, the 19th letter in the knowledge degree in the 1 to 10, just as a starter, ponder over it. Yeah, you gotta break this stuff down. Daniel Addison says, this is why they think they are different from us. Dialect only separated us. We don't speak the same languages. So, Daniel Addison, you from Africa too? Kareem said Malcolm was born in Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, I never would have thought that. Young Dove said Elijah Muhammad was from Georgia. I knew that. Elijah from Virginia. Martin Luther King is from Georgia. Megan Evans is from where? Mississippi? District 120. What's going on? Bill Culture. Bill Culture is new. What's going on, Bill Culture? Where you from? Jack King. So I'm talking about, we got the old timers. Yeah, Shades Michaels, man. Shades Michaels been here, man, for quite some time. Asiatic Mathematics said Charles Taze Russell came up with his 1914 prediction off studying the Giza pyramid. Charles Taze Russell, is that the guy with Blavatsky? Charles Taze. I know who he is. You gotta jog my memory. And tell us who this guy is and what he was about. what is this sign? It says, he, Kareem, can build on 1914, yet I cannot. No, I'm saying, listen, when I present something in the room, right, if you look, I go all the way back to the 1800s, you know, the 19 whatever, the 1700s, BC times, and say, look, this is the foundation of this thing. This is where it came from. These are steps and stages that it grew. So, you know, this is just the way we used to build in here. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, I'm just saying, like, you present something that we don't know about. Nobody's telling you that you're wrong. Nobody's saying you don't know what you're talking about. We saying, add on, black man. Like I said, we not the 10%, we the 5%, where everything is subject to be shown and proven. It don't necessarily mean, you know, that it's a challenge, you know, to your person or something. You know what I'm saying? But look, if you got this knowledge and we don't, then we the babies. So see, when your babies is hungry, you gotta what? Show and prove. So that's what we asking. State of the art. Okay, now state of the art. You did a pretty good job. You did a pretty good job earlier today. Do the knowledge. Keep the wisdom at a minimum. Son of Solomon said that goes back to leaders that came out of the 1920s and 30s. That pressure they lived through made them stronger and determined people. Blair and Snotty said, you are right about the food manufacturers, because in Baltimore, they closed down certain food spots from selling fresh veggies because of COVID-19, yet Walmart stocked with fruits and vegetables. Sage Michael said, did I build on 5G yet? Is conspiracies the same as believing in a mystery God? I mean, well, you know, this, I guess this is going to be, I guess one of my mottos or something, you know, while this thing is going on. But look, the 10% teaches things that can't be proven or disproven. See, when the 10% teaches that about a mystery God that no one will be able to see until he dies, you can't prove it. That's what it's saying. You can't prove it. But then it says the dead is never known to return from the grave and tell you whether he lied or not. So that means it will never be disproven. And in the midst of that confusion right there, in the midst of that, you know, you don't know which way you going, that's how he make his money. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of truth that he teach about. But see, the thing about that type of truth is that when the full knowledge comes out, you lose all your power. If you teaching things that can't be shown and proven, and this is how you take advantage of people, then once they can prove it or disprove it, you lose all your power. So just in terms of the conspiracy theories, you know what I'm saying? See, here's the thing. Conspiracy theories is the realm of possibility. But see, the realm of possibility has to be given some order by the realm of probability. See, there's a lot of things, like for instance, look, if you jump off the roof of your building right now, right? I don't know how tall your building is. Maybe you got a one-story building. But if you jump off the roof of, you know, a project building or something, you might make it. It's possible. But more than likely, you're not going to try that because it's not very probable. And that's what we got to understand about these conspiracy theories, is that these is all possibilities, and no, we don't want to leave none out. We want to consider every grain in every aspect when we put things on the scale. You understand what I'm saying? And weigh and judge it down to the most minuscule element. You understand what I'm saying? On the self-balancing scale of justice to see what is right. But we don't want to give too much weight to something that we can't prove or disprove. Now, in particular, the science with 5G is this. What I've, because I didn't really research 5G like that in the past. Like, I was hearing a bunch of stuff about it, but I really didn't think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I started getting so many people talking about the 5G and the 5G is doing this and 5G is doing that I went and researched it myself. And what I found is that a lot of misinformation is involved with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, they saying that 5G was first introduced in Wuhan, China in November. And from the research that I did, that's not true. It's been 5G. 5G first got introduced in North Carolina 15 months ago. Another thing about 5G, just like a computer, a computer is something that has many different inventions inside the computer. You know what I'm saying? Like, electricity is a separate invention from, microchips. Microchips is a separate invention from light bulbs. Light, we got to see the screens. But all of these things are bundled together. Just like you got a cell phone, from the jump when the iPhone came out, you had the iPod mixed with the phone, you know what I mean? There's all these technologies bundled together. And the reality is that the underlying technologies for 5G have been around for decades. Like, for instance, those, the new scanners that they came out with at the airport uses 5G technology. You know what I'm saying? The 5G technology uses something called millimeter waves. And because of the way the millimeter waves travel, you know what I'm saying, people think that it could be more dangerous. But it really hasn't been proven or disproven. And there's just also the fact that they said that about 1G, 2G, 3G, and 4G too. You know what I'm saying? Now, I guess that's another aspect of it. The 5G millimeter waves is amplified by something called multiple ins and multiple outs. So now the one tower, the multiple ins and the multiple outs is the different calls and all of this that's going in and going out, so that the tower can process all the different phone calls. And there's also a factor of the millimeter waves can't penetrate certain things. It can't penetrate certain walls and things of that nature. So because of that, you have to have more of the towers. So this is another aspect where they're saying that because you have more towers, you're going to be amplifying all the radiation. But I'm just saying that, the millimeter waves have been around for a long time. 5G has been around a long time, and the 5G technology has been used in a lot of electronics for years. So that's my research on it. The ability of these millimeter waves to, like, even, I'm gonna tell you another thing, those satellites, like those satellite telescopes, they use millimeter wave technology too. So it's one of those things that hasn't been proven or disproven yet. But now I'm not particularly afraid of 5G. Divine Son, peace to God. The Christians said we got the power to strike back. We do it every day on each other. Some of us only get super hardcore on each other. They got no talk or smoke for the devil. Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of means you can. Well, I see what you're saying. That you can strike back if you want it. You know, but see, this not for nothing. Within what you said, though, you still saying what I'm saying. See, we strike back at each other because we're not afraid of each other. You can't really do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? You know, in my mind, first of all, because I, look at you as African, right? You know, you don't have the same power. You know what I'm saying? You know, not just the same power as the white man. You don't have the same power as me, because I look down on you, right? Because, you African and you savage. You know what I'm saying? So, on that level, I see what you're saying in terms of the barrier is not physical. We have the potential to strike back. You understand what I'm saying? But because we don't have the right mindset, son, we not going to strike back. You see what I'm saying? And they know it. But that's a very good point that you made there, is that, I tell a lot of cats that, when I used to be in and out, going to bullpens and all that, and, be dudes, and they took my day off. Gang, like, dude, if you that gangster, what you doing in here? Like, why you in here bang out when the police rolled up? You know what I'm saying? You talking about all these people that you shot at that ain't had no gun. If you was that gangster, why you didn't bang out when the real boys came? So I definitely see what you're saying, and that's an aspect of the reality that must be dealt with in order for us to put our community on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Is we gotta cut that out. Where you wanna be a bully in a room full of children, but when somebody your own size roll up, now you don't want no smoke. Son Solomon said, and that can happen again if the original people get placed under pressure in this depression that's coming. I've been talking so much, I lost track of what that probably means. 793rd said, not enough time to support their fear-filled conspiracies. D. Christian said they spraying paint walls out here. They spray painting walls out here saying rent strike. Yeah, that's it, yo. That rent strike, because listen, it's a lot of Caucasian people that's with that. And then, you already got this kind of undercurrent of the young having a preference for socialism. You know what I'm saying? So just that aspect alone, with the young having a preference for socialism, that's the type of thing that's involved with socialism. You know what I mean? So I think that rent strike thing, I don't think that's going to go away. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to say that, that's going to be the thing that pushes this thing over the top. But I don't think that's going away. I don't think that's going away. You know what I'm saying? Even when rent comes back, they're going to be saying, look, you're going to have to freeze it, man. You can't be jacking the rent because we all just getting back. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people is not coming back at what they was making. Because, see, like you're saying, first of all, off the jump, companies going to be like, yo, look, we still got to produce things, but we can't afford to hire people no more. So what does that mean? We going with automation. So by the time you get back to work, that machine is going to be doing the hard part, and you just going to be bringing, like, if the machine makes some kind of metal cups, you're going to just be bringing the sheet metal and put it on the machine like that. And then the machine handles business. Now, you can't get more than minimum wage for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Even though you might have been a skilled worker who was making the metal things, you understand what I'm saying, yourself, now that the machine is doing it. Son of Solomon says 1914 starts the War of Armageddon. Hold on, let me catch back up here. Right, Charles Taze Russell started Jehovah's Witness. All right. All right. Scientific said correct in part, yet count the letters in the question of the first degree of 1 to 10. There are 19 letters. I am sharing a powerful gem, Lord. Draw it up. All right. We gotta get new Black World Order in here. We gotta get new Black World Order. We got the wordsmith. We need the mathematician. We need the mathematician to step up in here. We need the mathematician to step up in here to deal with that. 19 letters in the question. I mean, you gotta complete, you know what I mean? I guess maybe, you know what I'm saying, you're not cashing your jewels amongst the swine or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're preserving the best part for yourself by giving us these riddles, but what I'm saying is we don't have knowledge of what you're talking about. We need to have knowledge of what you're talking about to draw it up. Kareem said, nah, I don't think you want that, G. Numerology equals conspiracy. Yes, you're right about that. You know, be careful and aware not to turn supreme mathematics into numerology. Yeah, I got you know what it is, Magnetic? You gotta come on the Instagram right now is where I could do that mostly on Instagram. And then a lot of times I film that and then I post it over here. Shades Michaels, yeah, Infmega is good. He just on a little sabbatical right now. You know what I mean? He about to get full strength and hit the scene any day. Son of Solomon says 6,000 years going into 7,000 years, or 15,000 going into 16,000. The Asiatic calendar, Armageddon is now, and we're just over 100 years into the 1,000 years where the devil will no longer be on the planet. And so, how has this war of Armageddon been taking place? Where are the front lines? Scientific said once you acknowledge the culture, you know now is the time to end the devil's civilization and build a large nation. Exactly, even if it's right. Even if it's right, it's not exact because we don't understand. That's for the Masons like that. Damn, problem number 13. Problem number 13 still coming up, huh? District 120 said it's the antennas in usage. Young Dub said I thought South Korea been had 5G. Or they could. I know in America it's been around over a year. But what's the science with the antennas? Musadeep came in the building. The Christian said there is so many conspiracy theories out there that will leave you looking like a dog chasing its tail or dangling the carrot in front of a rabbit only to keep you outside yourself. Yeah. You know, the realm of possibility and the realm of probability. Scientific said knowledge or equality, and see that they're in the 5th degree, 16th degree of the 1 to 40. Allah is Lord of all worlds, or it would not have said. District 120 said we only been operating in 4G and 5G. We see it's only on a mobile level. It's not on the power level of what Wuhan was using, and they used the mobile 5G to cause confusion and skepticism. What do you mean we only use 5G on a mobile level? Not sure about that. Knowledge of law. District 120 said it could be the diplo antennas that are causing a lack of oxygen sensation. Oxygen is paramagnetic, and diplo antennas produce a magnetic field. I mean, there's lots of things that react in a magnetic field, though. And what would be the range? Like, what's the range that what's the range that this would affect the oxygen? Read the true history of Allah and his 5%. Them brothers wasn't playing games with nobody. Which one is that? Who wrote it? $793 said those landlord-tenant courts are going to be booming in a bad way on Livingston and Medina and Center and Mecca where stuff dies down. Yeah, there's gonna be cases going on in there. The boss said I think national rent rate will increase. I mean, it might over time, but it's gonna be some hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually. That's always a risk, you know what I'm saying, when you continuously raising prices, is that eventually you're gonna raise them outside of the range that people can afford. You know what I'm saying? And it's already, like I was saying, in New York, I can't say specifically that that's why, but there's several stores that have closed down. Like the Gap on 34th Street closed down. And the vast majority of these stuff that's closing in New York, the only real people that could afford to move in there is banks. The national banks. Like, there's so many Chase banks right now. So many banks of America, because they the only ones that can really afford the rent in those places. You know what I'm saying? Like, in particular, it's going to be a minute before they fill that location back up on 34th Street. You know what I'm saying? You know, dollar pizza stores is closing. And they haven't been around that long, but dollar pizza closing is not a thing. So 54 likes and 46 watching.
O'clock.
Nah, that's what I'm talking about, man. This right here is gonna go far. Asiatic Mathematics said Armageddon is the battle of Megiddo, which is an actual place in Palestine. I don't bear witness to it. Seems like some religious stuff. All right, now, when you deal with Megiddo, is not really religious. Lemonade. That cool, refreshing drink. See, the science with Megiddo, right, is that Megiddo was the crossroads of the trade routes. It was the crossroads of the trade routes. So whoever controlled Megiddo kind of controlled the world. You know what I'm saying? You control, like, if you control that, then everybody that come through here, they gotta, you know, they gotta pay the toll. You know what I'm saying? And you the toll collector. So that's why there was many battles, you know what I'm saying, in which, you know, people fought to the death at Megiddo. Boss said there's going to be some real quarantine economics in the house industry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's gonna be something they're gonna have to do something about. I don't know what, but more than likely they're gonna have to give the landlords a bailout and tell them to chill out. Calm is Lonely said Armageddon deals with spooky subject matter about so-called end times. Oh yeah, let me catch it. District 120 said, I work for T-Mobile. The phones are compatible with 5G. We were selling 2 years ago, but 5G was not turned on. Yeah, I know about that. Fly Phrase, what's going on? District 120 said it would have to be turned on. It would have to be turned on pretty high, and you probably have to be close, but I'm not sure. If you look up how the experiment performed with the liquid nitrogen and liquid oxygen, you can see this. I mean, yes. You can see this quantum effect. It would be a quantum effect. There's no sound? I think you must be on mute. Daniel Anderson said downtown Medina done off too. Yeah, you know, once they started breaking up the mall, they never really got it. You know, they built the Atlantic Mall, and then they built that new mall, like right where Albee Square used to be. So yeah, right now, man, you don't hardly see, you know, the type of business on Fulton Street that you used to. And that's something in general that happened in New York. They came and built all those malls. New York didn't really have malls. New York was someplace that you walk, you know what I'm saying, and you see the stores as you pass. But once they started building those malls and people start going direct to the mall and parking in the parking lot, and then you only walk through the mall, it already had started destroying parts. And that's what I'm saying. It was, you know, things was already kind of, you know, on the edge already. Dr. Dankenstein. Yeah, Daniel, I was just Fulton Mall was pretty much empty. D. Christian said it's memoirs by a variety of older guys who were there with the timeline from October 1964 to June 1969. Yeah, I heard of it, and I was around when they were saying like, you know, it's some things where it's like, man, listen, man, I already paid my dues to hear those things, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, you know, it's not like I'm, you know, against reading it or not, but it's one of those things where I haven't really rushed to read it because, you know, the people that's in it, like, they my dudes, you know what I'm saying? I you know, more than likely already a good percentage of whatever stories is in there, I probably already heard. Scientific and he Kareem is having a side rally over here that I was following, and then they got too complicated for me, man. Yeah, 793rd. They don't know about the lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink. Now, July, was it hot? It was like 65 today or something like that. It wasn't hot, but yeah, we definitely going towards the summertime. Asiatic God Mathematics says, so you're saying Armageddon is an economic war. Well, you know, so Megiddo's a trading post, right? Trading posts is for money, is for ideas, you know what I'm saying? Religions, you know what I'm saying? I give you an example of what I'm saying. At one time, the Arabs controlled the trade routes, right? So, camels is not really from the Arabs. Camels is from the Chinese. The Chinese had the camels in the Gobi Desert. And when the Arabs seen them with the camels, they realized that it would work in their area too. But now we know camels from them, and we seldom associate the camels with the Chinese. You know what I'm saying? Or our base 10 number system that we got, right, is known as the Arabic number system. But in fact, they got it from the Hindus. But because at the trading post of ideas, right, they were the one who got the idea from them and gave it to everybody else. Everybody else looks at it as Arabic. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just that it's an economic war, you know what I'm saying? But it's one of those things where, you know, when money's on the line, when money's at stake, then we know it's going to be a bang out. You understand what I'm saying? Lord Justice Allah from Region 3. I've never been too keen on the regions. Where's Region 3? But peace to the God, Lord Just. Ow. I finally caught up to y'all. This is the first time in maybe a week I caught up to y'all. Yes, I caught back up in the side rally. I caught back up to the side rally. Yeah, you know, I just realized what Dr. Degenstein, I just realized what his avatar is right here. Semi Samael. It's been a minute. We ain't see Semi in a minute. What's the deal, Lord? What you been up to? Saturday Thursday, you are the inventor of the said side rally. Ah. Digital Bean Pod. Yeah, you know, I got where do you get that what's the name from? You gotta Jai gotta send me the what's the name? Jai gotta send me the little what do you call that? The little emoticon thing that he do? Or whatever, the little symbol that he do for the bean pie. He gotta send me that so I could put that in the image. Region 3 is New Jersey, Eastern Pennsylvania, Maryland, DC, and Delaware. Right, the emoji, yeah. Alright, that's peace. I think this might be the first time that I seen something that got Maryland and DC on it and it don't got Virginia. Yeah, but we had a good time today. We had a nice class. You know what I'm saying? We had a nice class, and actually we had a good day because we had a good class before the class. VA is Region 4, huh? I never was too keen on the regions because, I just see separating as the first stage of grafting, you know what I mean? So, I always thought, my thing was that I definitely could understand in terms of the people who's ever in whatever district, right? Whatever region you in, of course they the best knowers of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And being the best knowers of what's going on, they should definitely be on the front line of whatever's taking place down there, right? See, the issue that I had is that there was no federation. Meaning, like in America, you got the 50 states, right? And each state got their own executive. They got their, governor. You got all your, state constitutions and everything, right? But then you have the federal government, which ties it all together. You know what I'm saying? And that's what really makes sure that, resources from Georgia might end up going into a computer that's made in Washington State. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I thought, you know what I'm saying? And then even the way that it played itself out, in my opinion, one thing that I have experienced is where, you might go from region to region, right? And the teachings is not really the same. Which is where you really start to run into trouble. But just in general, in terms of us remaining one mind and dealing with the science of being a nation, like it's good when we all do agree. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here looking at the side rally with Scientific and he career, right? Sometimes all I can say is brothers high power because I don't even be knowing. But you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with a nation, right? You gotta realize that when you got a whole society or a large group of men, women, and children, and we put our heads together, right? Every decision, it's impossible for you to like or agree with every single decision that's made. You understand what I'm saying? See, a lot of times when you start breaking things down like that, people develop separate interests. You know what I'm saying? And so it becomes harder you know, when you feel like you got your own section, it becomes harder for you to accept decisions that you may not like. But in order to be, you know, any kind of family, like there's gonna be times when your mom's take you to the store to get some sneakers, and you gonna want some sneakers that she don't like. There's gonna be times when your mom's make something for dinner that's not your favorite. But if y'all gonna remain a family, y'all gotta learn to live with those decisions. Which is, you know, why you haven't heard me make no fuss about them doing the regions. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know how to live with those decisions. But you know, there was different things that I've seen played out over the time since they started the regions. In my opinion, you know, I still don't really condone it. So I've never really known, you know, which region is which and all of that. You know, but I mean, you know, it's true and living God's from every region. So we gotta start from there. But yeah, like I said, you know, we had a good class, great class. You know what I'm saying? Got some good points across. Had some old timers come in, had some new people come in. You know what I mean? Had some people in the background doing the knowledge. Hopefully they learned something too. You know what I'm saying? Scientific, Allah, new brother that we met today, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully he comes back and gets into some more details of the stuff he was building on. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'll see y'all brothers tomorrow. And we chop it back up. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths out there. And you know how we do.